Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Today is a great day to be a freaking New York Jets fan because last night the New York Jets they stole the show at the NFL Honors. We swept the Rookie of the Year awards. Garrett Wilson is your Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sauce Gardner is your Defensive Rookie of the Year. When the past meets the present and also meets the future, because not only did we see Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson be recognized as the top rookies in the entire NFL, but Joe Klecko and Darrelle Revis are officially in the Hall of Fame. That is awesome. We saw the Jets' history get recognized, and we saw the current New York Jets, who were also the future of the New York Jets, get recognized as well. My favorite part about last night is that the same exact night, Sauce Gardner wins Rookie of the Year and Darrelle Revis enters the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Famer, by the way. Kind of felt like that was the passing the torch moment from Revis to Sauce, because us Jets fans grew up and had Darrelle Revis as our guy for so long. He dominated those years. We all know Revis Island. We can talk about how great Revis was for this entire show. And we saw what Sauce Gardner just did as a rookie, all first team as a rookie, Pro Bowler. And we kind of get that sense of, do we have our new Revis? And they're two completely different style of corners, but still having a dominant corner at that position. We're used to having that. So it feels good that the Revis was recognized to be a Hall of Famer. Of course, Joe Klecko as well. And the Jets got recognized last night, man. We stole the freaking show. We all knew Sauce Gardner was going to win it. We didn't know if Garrett was going to win it. And he did. And he should have, and he did, baby. Our young rookies is out there. So shout out to everybody in the chat. How you guys feeling? Hawk is feeling great. He feels like it's a victory Monday. We haven't had a real victory Monday in, it feels like, forever. Seahawks fans are in shambles. It's not only Seahawks fans. The hate for the Jets is hilarious. People are saying Sauce shouldn't have gotten it because he commits DPIs. Bro, the people that say this, they are jealous of Sauce Gardner because they cannot allow the Jets to have anything nice, it seems, right? Sauce Gardner is a DPI merchant. The good players are the ones that gets away with any type of play, those. And also all the other plays, whereas, I don't even need to defend this. It's such a lazy narrative that people put this on Sauce, and that's going to be with him for the rest of his career. And cool, who cares? Because Sauce Gardner led the NFL in pass deflections. He was arguably the best corner in the entire league last season. And he unanimously won, basically. All first team. The people that know football, guys, this is what I like to say. The people that know football, like in AP, for example, they're the ones that's voting on these. They know Sauce Gardner is dominant, and he's not a DPI merchant like all the haters say. They know football. The other people that say that, they don't know what they're talking about. This is fact. They let their emotions get in the way of it. They can't appreciate how great Sauce Gardner is as a rookie. They have to bring up all those other things. We hit a grand slam last night. Let's go. Yes, Jets Chaos. We did hit a grand slam. Literally a grand slam. 4 runs scored. Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Joe Klecko, Revis. That's a grand slam right there. V-Man says, Seahawks fans don't seem to understand that quality of opponent matters. I asked them for a list of wide receivers well and locked down, yet they never seem to show one. Yeah, Tariq Woolen is a great corner, but he is not going to win Rookie of the Year. That was obvious heading into this one. Tariq Woolen, as a 5th-round pick, had a sensational season, tied the league lead in interceptions, and he's a great player. But what Sauce did is he locked down, like V-Man's talking about, the best receivers in the league. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs twice, Tyreek Hill twice, and Jalen Waddle twice, Mark Andrews, Cortland Sutton. Those are all the people that Sauce went up against and got the better of. Come on, man. Finally, Klecko. I waited a long time for that. What a night. Proud to be a Jets fan. Yeah, for the older generation that experienced Joe Klecko live, this last night was awesome for you guys because he finally got recognized in the Hall of Fame. You can say that Joe Klecko and Darrelle Revis are historically one of the best, if not the best, Jets of all time. So it's really awesome to see Klecko get in. I remember all the stories that my dad told me about Klecko in those days, man, and I know about it, but obviously I didn't live through it. But I know how dominant he truly was in his time. Kevin says, Joe Douglas is building this roster for the long term. I predict we will have a top offensive line within 2 to 3 years, building the trenches similar to the Eagles. The Eagles won a Super Bowl with Foles. Kevin, this is the vision. This is what Joe Douglas is trying to do. He is trying to rebuild this offensive line through the draft. Unfortunately for him, Mekhi Becton has not panned out. Let's hope that he can really fix his entire routine and get into shape and be healthy, right? That's what Mekhi Becton's issue is staying on the field, and I think that has a lot to do with how he takes care of his body off the field. So let's hope that that can get going. He drafted Elijah Vera Tucker. We all know that man is a all-pro talent. He just hopefully stays healthy. And the good thing about AVT is he doesn't have an injury history. I know that he went out for the season with a torn tricep, but that's an injury you can come back from and recover from. He doesn't have a lot of injury history. So let's hope that was just a one-year fluke thing and AVT could be healthy. And then I'm assuming if we hold on to our first-round pick this season, we're going to draft an offensive lineman, and Joe Douglas is going to build through the trenches, baby. That's what we need. Jet sweep. Yes, sir. This is a good look for Aaron Rodgers. Oh, yeah, it is, baby. We also had Joe Namath at NFL Honors last night, and it's always great to see Namath, man. He's just awesome. That man is just awesome. Wood looks to be serious about the quarterback. Yes, he does. Even Joe Namath is talking about it. Let's go. New York Jets AFC East winners 23 NFL script leaked. Ooh, I like to hear that. Sauce is all pro for a reason. Yes, sir. You know ball. You know ball too, man. But they showed his top plays. My top play from Sauce was that blitz he put on Allen for the safety. That was actually on Teddy Bridgewater, not on Allen. But that play was phenomenal. I was at the stadium for that game. I'll never forget that. It's not enough that the Jets have dealt with falling apart in years of laughingstock. Now that there's promise on the team, they got to try to keep them down. Facts. I mean, how awesome was it sitting back on our couches last night watching Sauce Gardner make his speech, Garrett Wilson make his speech? Do you know who was sitting back with a gigantic smile on his face? Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas was sitting back like, yep, those are my kids. Those are my little boys. Like, this is awesome. Like, we have two guys that swept the awards. Do you guys have any idea how rare that is? I think it's the third time in history. I know Marshawn Lattimore and Alvin Kamara were the last ones to do it for the New Orleans Saints. Like, we have two studs at two really important positions in today's NFL. In today's league, you need a shutdown corner because you want to know why? Because today's league is all about high-flying, explosive receivers like Garrett Wilson is. So the fact that we have two of those guys on both sides of the ball playmaking is so awesome for the future of this team. Just get us a damn quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, please. When you're on your little retreat and you're sitting in darkness and you're meditating and you're doing whatever you're doing, just close your eyes, take a deep breath, and envision throwing the number 17 in the green and white and black, right, to Garrett Wilson, hand the ball off to Breece Hall, Mekhi Becton pancaking people. You get a touchdown. The defense gets on the field. Sauce Gardner, rating defensive rookie of the year. He gets you the ball right back in the red zone. Come on, Rodgers, make the decision. Richie, can we trust that Breece will come back healthy? The way I'm looking at Breece Hall this season, guys, and how unfortunate is it? Because we knew Breece Hall would be recognized last night if he didn't get hurt, right? But the way I'm looking at Breece Hall this season is not having high expectations early on. He's going to ease his way in. And the best case scenario for Breece Hall is that he shakes off the rust, he gets comfortable, and then by the midway point of the season and in the back end of the season, that's where he gets back to his old rookie ways. I think that's what's going to be the case. I really hope that I think the Jets are going to make a surprising move at running back this offseason, whether that's drafting another one, probably, or signing one. I don't know. But I think that they're going to want to add another piece because without Breece Hall, Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, Ty Johnson, James Robinson, I think Johnson and Robinson are expendable. I like Zonovan Knight. I like Michael Carter, but I do think they're going to add another one because you cannot rely on Breece Hall this season, really, to be the bell cow coming off that injury, unfortunately. Really, really unfortunate. V-Man with the $5 super chat. Thank you, bro. Haters trying to share blurry pictures of Sauce locking down wide receivers as the smoking gun of Sauce holding when you can't even make out hands. Bro, those people don't make sense. Like, they literally are just blindly believing a narrative without doing any research and watching the games and watching film. Like, don't even take those guys seriously. It makes me laugh, to be honest. But V-Man, I appreciate the donation, my friend. If you guys could do me a favor and you're hyped up about the 4 big-time honors that we got last night and the 2 Hall of Famers and the 2 future players of the Jets that are going to be stars forever, do me a gigantic favor. Hit that thumbs up button as a Let's Go Jets. Hit that thumbs up button, baby, for a Let's Go Jets. with Brees, the 2022 draft might just be the best of all time. Don't sleep on Jermaine Johnson in year number 2. I know that he didn't have a spectacular rookie season like a Sauce or a Garrett or even a Brees Hall, but don't sleep on my man Jermaine Johnson. He's coming in year 2. I'm telling you, he is going to have a 7+8 sack season, and he's going to be dominant in the run game, and he's going to have his breakout season in year number 2. I'm calling it now. And he's going to show why the Jets traded up to get him, because he wasn't a bust in year 1, by the way. He was very solid. He was playing behind in the rotation. He didn't get a lot of playing time as much, so his plays would come in little spurts. He got injured a little bit. Don't sleep on my man Jermaine. And Jeremy Ruckert. I'm hopeful that Ruckert gets a more burn next year. Actually, 3 guys. Brees was running away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yes, he was. Can't sleep on that. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is one of my favorite players in the NFL, and this goes back to when he was on Penn State, actually. Saquon Barkley was my favorite player in college when he was at Penn State, and when he got drafted to the Giants, I was like, damn it, I cannot root for him anymore. Well, because I just don't like the Giants. I just grew up just not liking the Giants. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to that. And when he got drafted to the Giants, I'm like, damn it, I really want to root for Saquon, but it's going to be hard to root for him if he's on the Giants. But then I figured out that he's a Jets fan. He grew up idolizing Curtis Martin. He's like a real Jets fan. And I'm like, whatever, hate the Giants, rooting for Saquon. But Saquon's not coming to the Jets. I think there's a chance that Saquon comes to the Jets later on in his career, potentially when he's like older and maybe like a LaDainian Tomlinson to the Jets kind of a vibe. Remember that when we got him at the end of his career and he's still a beast? 100% solidify that line and add high-level running back that makes us hard to beat, no matter the quarterback. Talk about the Woody interview. I think I missed that. Where did Woody get interviewed? Yesterday? Oh, wow. Yeah, I missed it. All right, we're going to play it right now. I actually missed this. I don't know how I missed this. But we're going to listen to it so I know. Let's listen to it together right here, right here. Right here, everybody. That's the beauty of this.
The weakness right now. The weakness was in the quarterback. The weakness right now.
All right, it starts off in saying the weakness.
The weakness right now. The weakness was in the quarterback position. Whether it was management or whatever, everybody kind of regressed a little bit. So what we're going to do is we are going to look for, an experienced quarterback to come in and help us and help develop these other young players.
Is there a veteran quarterback that you like in particular right now?
There's a number of them out there that look pretty good.
Yeah.
That look really good. But
so obviously everyone in the New York area keeps thinking it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers. Do you have interest in bringing Aaron Rodgers to New York?
You want the best quarterback that you can get to lead the Jets. And I think with a good quarterback and our great defense, and the defense will be a lot better with a quarterback, that's actually doing it, and a good running game, and just what the coach is talking about. Our special teams is really good. And so, it's plug and play. I mean, I think a quarterback comes in, it's kind of an ideal situation.
But a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers costs a lot, and you'd have to give up a lot for a guy like him. Do you think it would be worth it? It
depends on whatever these quarterbacks, particularly if they're free agents, so they want to leave. It's up to what they want to do. What do they want to do, and how do they want to structure themselves?
Yeah. Obviously, he's under contract with the Green Bay Packers, so
so you can't really talk about. I can't really talk about him because he's a member of another club, but everybody recognizes talent.
Oh, I got cut off. All right. Well, I thought that was very interesting. Hold on. I want to talk about. Is that it? I think so. Okay. So that was definitely interesting. He didn't really say anything groundbreaking. He pretty much said everything that we heard him say when he was interviewed by The Beat after the season. The Jets are being very aggressive for a quarterback, and you could tell that Woody Johnson wants a veteran quarterback. And, of course, they're going to ask him about Aaron Rodgers, and he can't speak on Aaron Rodgers because he's under contract. But I'll tell you this. If Aaron Rodgers comes out of his retreat and his isolation and he wants to keep playing and the Packers want to move on from him and he's down to leave and he's open to come to the Jets, because I think that's a big, important thing, guys. Aaron Rodgers needs to want to come to the Jets. That's step number one. If that happens, then I think Woody Johnson is going to give Joe Douglas the okay to bring in Aaron Rodgers and sacrifice whatever it costs to get him to the Jets. So I really think when it comes to the Aaron Rodgers situation, it's not as much as the Jets' interest. I think it's all on Aaron Rodgers. I think it's his decision to come to the Jets. I know that he's not a free agent, so it's not like he can choose wherever he goes. But I feel like after the Super Bowl and after he thinks about his future and he hopefully decides to not retire and he decides that the Green Bay Packers and him mutually agree to part ways, and then he looks at the Raiders, looks at the Jets, I'm hopeful that he sees something brewing with the Jets and Nathaniel Hackett, and he just chooses us, and then it makes it happen. But there's a lot of things going against us as well when it comes to that. You know, the Raiders are closer to home. He has Devontae Adams, who he's familiar with. I don't know. So it's not a guarantee that he comes to the Jets, guys. But also, there's other guys out there besides Rodgers that'll be awesome. No doubt about it. And it really does tell you how much that Woody Johnson thinks about Zach Wilson, because he was basically just shitting on him. He was like, yeah, our quarterback was our weakness last year. Well, who was he talking about? Zach Wilson. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he was referring to Joe Flacco and Mike White as much. I think it was really about Zach Wilson. And obviously Mike White didn't play well either, and neither did Joe Flacco. But the New York Jets gotta fix that quarterback position. That's what this whole offseason is about, and that's what we got to continue. But I really want to focus this stream on last night because it was so special to watch the Jets be recognized. And it's like, it really reminds us as a fan base that what this past season really meant. Like, it didn't end the way we wanted to. We didn't get that fulfillment of making the playoffs like we thought we were at some point in the season. We didn't get that, ecstasy of going to the big game. And the big game, I mean the wild card. That's the big game for us Jets fans. It's been freaking decade plus. But we have to remember what this Jets organization is doing is building through the draft, and what they got in Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, not to mention Breece Hall, not to mention Elijah Vera Tucker, Elijah Moore as well. Don't sleep on that man. I'm telling you, with a new scheme and a new quarterback, that man's going to be unlocked. With Jermaine Johnson, with all this youthful talent, with another whole rookie class coming this offseason that I think is going to be really beneficial to the future of this organization, there's a lot of things to be excited about, and it's okay to be excited, guys. It's okay. Like, it's also okay to look at last season in a positive light, even when we fell apart, because we did. And I think that the biggest reason why we fell apart is the quarterback, which is why we need a freaking quarterback. I also heard Joe Namath speak glowing things about Robert Saleh, and I think Robert Saleh has a lot of proving to do to some fans, but I am sold on Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas's vision. I really am. They're bringing in high character guys. Like, when are they going to get the benefit of the doubt about that? Like, the type of players that Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas are bringing in are Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, high character guys that love the game of football. And obviously they had good premium draft capital to be able to get these guys, which was awesome. But the reality is, man, I trust in the vision of Douglas and Saleh. I'm hopeful that they can get the quarterback position right and we can go make the freaking playoffs this season, man. Because this past season was just different, man. We haven't had a season where we were in the playoff hunt. We haven't since 2015? 2015 was the last time the New York Jets had a chance to make the playoffs at the end of the year. And the Jets fumbled the opportunity. We had a revolving door quarterback. We had injuries all over the offensive line. And that's not an excuse, because there are a lot of things that went wrong. Saleh needs to fix a lot of things. How can Saleh handle the adversity better, right? There's things that Saleh can do as a head coach. When there is injuries at your quarterback position, when there's injuries on your offensive line, when there's inexperience here, how can you rise to the occasion and be able to react? That's what great coaches are able to do. So I'm hopeful that Saleh learned from that experience this past season. And if any other adversity comes this next season with injuries, they're more well prepared. They have better quality depth, and the next man up mentality is more important. And obviously the quarterback is the biggest X factor for everything, because I don't think that this Jets team would be able to put an average quarterback on the Jets last year. We're in the playoffs, and I'll literally bet on that. Give us any quarterback that's average. Give us Ryan Tannehill last year, Jimmy Garoppolo. We're in the playoffs. We were 7-4. And look at all the reasons why we lost at the end of the season. It's because of the offense. We did not score any touchdowns. Mike White got hurt. He came back, wasn't himself. The offensive line was a mess. The offensive scheme was a mess with Mike LaFleur. Nothing were going on the same page. The defenses knew exactly what was coming. And the poor defense, man. The poor defense. And I'm excited, man. And all those games at the end of the season, too, man, we were this close to beating the Vikings. We were a Braxton Berrios catch away from beating the Vikings. We were this close from beating the Detroit Lions. We were winning with 1:50 left. And on 4th and 1, we give up a 50-yard freaking touchdown, which was an absolute abomination. But at the same time, man, there's a lot of things to look forward to for this team. There really is. I was like, last night it was just kind of like a realization. Like, we are being recognized in this moment. The past with Joe Klecko and Darrelle Revis, the present with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson, at the same time, the future with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. It feels good, man. And we are not done with the NFL honors, by the way, because I think that both Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson have chances, maybe not next year, but at some points in their careers, either be nominees or even win Defensive Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year. I think Garrett Wilson could have a season when he hits his prime, maybe not next year, maybe it is next year, I don't know, to have a Justin Jefferson-style season. I think he has that talent. He really does. Like, that excites me. That is awesome. Like, we finally have someone that can do those things. Also, Breece Hall, don't sleep on him winning or being a nominee for Comeback Player of the Year next year. That's a possibility as well. And dare I say, MVP for Aaron Rodgers if he comes to the Jets? Is that too much, Richie? Is that too much for me to say? That if we get Aaron Rodgers, that he could potentially be an MVP nominee? I don't know. He's 1 year removed from back-to-back MVP awards with Nathaniel Hackett as his OC, helping him out. I don't know. That's just me thinking happy thoughts and positive vibes. Because why not? Why not on the day after the Jets dominated the NFL honors? Prime Garrett Wilson and Sauce is scary. Can we imagine, just real quick, everybody, what their primes will look like? Because they're so good, and they're not even near their prime. Well, they have to be near their prime, because how much better can they get, right? I mean, what Garrett Wilson can be better at is what? Having a better quarterback? And then, I always say this about Sauce. What's going to take Sauce to the next level of his game is getting more interceptions and becoming more of a guy that's a ball hawk, because he's so long. And when they start throwing up jump balls, I want to see Sauce be able to go up there and high point the ball and rip the ball out of the air a little bit. I want to see him become a ball hawk. He was phenomenal in pass deflections, and you can't blame the man for just being an elite menace leading the league in pass deflections. But I feel like the next part of his game is getting those interceptions, getting 5 interceptions, right? That's the next step to Sauce's game. And the next step for Garrett Wilson's game is touchdowns. And I think a lot of that to do with the quarterback play. Not really as much on Garrett Wilson individually, as more of the scheme and the quarterback. But Garrett Wilson, he only had 2 games with touchdowns, and he had 4 touchdowns throughout the season, and they both came from 2 games. Fernando with the $5. Hey, you hit your parlay. Let's go. Thanks for the support. I hit on the 6K parlay. Thank you, Geno, Sauce, and Nick Bosa. By the way, the Name It Klecko video was awesome. Fernando, congratulations. This man put money on back in when? You said October that Geno Smith was going to win Comeback Player of the Year. Sauce Gardner is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Nick Bosa is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, and he hit on it to win $6,000. Shout out to my man Fernando. And thanks for giving me $5 of that 6K. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much, Fernando. And congratulations to you, my man. That is awesome, dude. Q Williams, I believe, should have gotten a nod. The dude was beasting and feasting. Oh, thank you for saying that, Larry. Don't sleep on Quinnen Williams being in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year next year. I think he can have a Chris Jones level season. I mean, he basically almost did. Chris Jones had 15.5 sacks, and I think Quinnen Williams has that potential, no doubt. Hell yeah, and it's hard not to love these guys. High characters. Yes, sir. Sauce doesn't look back because he reads the eyes of the receiver. Being a rookie, his ceiling may not be realized, but he is a Hall of Fame quality as he is now. He is. And we have to realize that Sauce Gardner is going to be working on that in the offseason. Tony Oden, his DBs coach, I'm sure they're going to coach him up and say, hey, Sauce, this is great, but the next step to your game is how can we evolve your game to start looking back at the ball a little bit and getting those interceptions. And I think that he's going to develop into that guy. I'm telling you. Big Q got one Defensive Player of the Year vote. That's true, Kent. Our man Quinnen Williams got a vote for Defensive Player of the Year. How about that? My man. My man. Barkley came back from a blown-out knee. He was more of a comeback player. Geno was always a bum and decided to have a good year. He did have a good year. I'm happy Geno won it. Saquon deserved to win it as well, by the way. And what Saquon is doing gives me a lot of confidence in Breece Hall coming back from an injury as well. Maybe not this season, but the future of Breece Hall, seeing Saquon, also Adrian Peterson, there's a lot of evidence that running backs that blew out their knees, they can come back and be even better at times. Beasting and feasting, loving it. What up, John? Let's go Knicks tonight, baby. I agree. We are a toxic fan base as well as a passionate, great fan base. Our owner needs to ignore us and let the GM do his job. Yeah. What are you? Well, guys, last night was phenomenal for the Jets. If you guys are not already, do me a favor and hit that like button. We got 38 likes. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show as always, as always, as always. Let's go. I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's live stream, which is BetUS. If you guys want to make some bets for the Super Bowl, the big game, the sportsbook to do that is indeed BetUS, the official sportsbook sponsor of Jets Media. If you make an account, clicking the link down below in the description right now, you'll get $50 free just by making an account and no deposit necessary. Or you click the other link and it'll give you an opportunity to get a 125% sign-up bonus up to $2,500. Here's the odds for the Super Bowl. Ooh, the line moved a little bit. The Chiefs are 1.5-point underdogs, and you can bet plus their money line at plus 105. So Eagles are the heavy favorites to win this game. A lot of money's on the Eagles. I'm kind of going for the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs in this game. I don't know about you guys. I want the Chiefs to win. Screw the city of Philadelphia. Right? You hype for the Jets to get the Canton Hall of Fame game? I know. I realize that. We got 2 Hall of Famers. We have to get that game, right? We have to get that game. So it's agreed. Ramsey's not the top guy anymore. It's not, man. Sauce is taking that from him. And there's a Super Bowl commercial with Sauce Gardner and Jalen Ramsey, by the way, by Buffalo Wild Wings. And that's another passing the torch moment. Huge night for the Jets yesterday. About time this organization earned some respect. Next stop, the playoffs. Let them know, George. Let's go, George. You get me hyped up. Next stop is the playoffs. Come on. Next stop is Aaron Rodgers and then the playoffs. You know who's going to light it up in that Hall of Fame game? Zach Wilson. Because that's going to be his time to play, right? Because he's the backup. Get it? Jets going to open the NFL season in Canton and close the season in Vegas. Well, I hope this means we're not versing Aaron Rodgers when we're in Vegas. I want to go to that game in Vegas, by the way. I was thinking about that. If there was a game that I want to go to travel to, that Raiders game looks very enticing. Very, very enticing. But, man, it feels good to be a Jets fan, doesn't it? It just kind of feels like we haven't really been recognized for anything like in a long time. The fact that we got a Rookie of the Year, not 1 to celebrate, but 2. I don't know, man. My prediction, John, is that they're going to put Jets-Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I could be wrong. They could put the Giants on there again. But I do like the Jets-Cowboys Thanksgiving this year. Because if we get Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure they're going to want to put the Jets on a lot of primetime games. Woo! Jets fans, let's go, man. It feels good. Let's go. We got studs on this team, man. We have studs on this team. And when is the last time the New York Jets have drafted anybody that has this much upside? When's the last time? We literally stole the show last night. And that's why it feels good to be a Jets fan in this current moment. Because I'm someone that looks at the positives. I don't just hold on to the doom and gloom, and I'm not a negative Sally. I don't just hold on to all the negative energy. I'm someone that likes to find the lightness in life. And this is light. So why not talk about it? And why not feel happy about what the Jets were just experienced last night? Why not? When is the last time we can say that we have two players as good and talented as Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson that are stars in the making? That's something to be excited about. That's something to be happy about. If you're not happy, you're not excited about that, what kind of Jets fan are you? Right? How are you not excited about that? So soak this in. It feels good right now. This should be a Jets fan high. This should be an experience where, okay, the future is bright with this franchise. They just got to figure out the quarterback position. They got to add some talent here, and here. And it's no guarantee that they figure it out. But what we saw last night is two high-class individuals get recognized as one of the best people in the entire NFL draft last night, man. And that feels freaking good. That feels freaking good, man. Let's go. Come on. That's the step. Like, this is how you build a franchise. You have to draft well, and it feels good that we have two players that we drafted that are the best at their respective, not even positions, but whole side of the ball, because we've got the talent, man. We've got the talent on this team to make a push for the playoffs, bro. It's just about the quarterback. Oh, it's so frustrating. Plus, the best part about last night that I've said thousands of times already on the stream is that the past met the present and the future in one moment. Like Joe Klecko finally making the Hall of Fame. It's been so long. Jets fans have been waiting every year for him to become a Hall of Famer, and he's finally inducted. Darrelle Revis, first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, that's our Jets, man. That's the organization. That's us. That's us. Like, it feels like we are being recognized, and us as Jets fans, we don't get a lot of recognition around the NFL because we don't deserve it. We haven't done anything. We don't win, right? We're the laughing stock of the league. We're an easy target for memes. We're an easy target to laugh at because we've been an embarrassment for 12 seasons. We have the longest playoff drought in the league. Yeah. So when we get recognized, why not be happy about it? Why not soak it in? So the fact that we had Joe Klecko finally get inducted, we have Revis getting inducted, and we have these two players who are on Hall of Fame trajectories even after their first season, it's excited, man. Possible that the Jets can get Justin Fields. No, not happening. Justin Fields is not going to be a Jet. They're looking for an experienced quarterback, not someone that is inexperienced like Justin Fields. Not happening, my man. But appreciate the donation. And the question is always, my friend. Chicago is going to be very interesting conversation for the draft about how they're going to trade that first pick. Are they going to trade that first overall pick? If so, how much are they getting back? A lot of interesting things to keep in mind when it comes to that Chicago Bears first overall pick. Yeah, we got to see Zach Wilson stink it up for the Hall of Fame game. Love it. Oh, we got a Bills hater coming in. Jets hater. Wilson didn't deserve it. Yeah, he did. Get it? Breaking all the franchise records. Leading all the NFL rookie receivers in receptions and yards. 83, 1,100 yards with 3 bad quarterbacks. Yeah, I think he deserved it. Hater. Dude, They're just mad that Garrett Wilson was torching Tre'Davious White. The Bills beat us that game, but Garrett Wilson was literally exposing that man Trey White all game long. Also, he was exposing Xavier Howard at the end of the season. So let them hate all they want. Also, I got to say this. How awesome was it that Stephon Diggs was the one to announce Sauce Gardner being Defensive Rookie of the Year? That was awesome. And I also love that Meek Mill was like, all these players, lockdown receivers, blah, blah, blah. And Diggs was like, not me. Hey, Sauce Gardner. I'll leave it at that. I love that Diggs was the one to announce it. I love it. Lock that man down, baby. Lock that man down. Was picked off Josh Allen. Was a big reason why they beat the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs sitting there knows that he's got to worry about this man twice a year. Ooh, I love that. I love that. Poor Seahawks fans, too. Not to mention, man, if Breece Hall was healthy, he would have ran away with that Offensive Rookie of the Year. Garrett Wilson would have been a nominee, but he would have won the award. Breece Hall would have won the award if he stayed healthy. I can say that. I mean, obviously, you don't know that for sure, but he was on pace, man. Don't forget what he was doing. Don't forget what he was doing before he got injured, man. It sickens my stomach thinking about that. Like, what if? What would he be like? He broke free on a 60-plus yard touchdown, and, like, he was the reason why we even beat the Broncos, that and our defense, because that was the only touchdown we scored that game. Oh, makes me sick, but it is what it is. We got recognized, rightfully so. Sauce Gardner, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Garrett Wilson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Joe Klecko, Darrelle Revis, Hall of Famers. So I'm going to wrap up the show here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I had to give you guys my reaction to the Jets running away with the NFL honors last night. Absolutely love it. The future of this team is glorious, and I'm excited, man. The future of this team is high. We just have to make sure we get the quarterback right. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out of the show, everybody. I'm excited for the future. And let the Bills fan keep hating because that Josh Allen contract is kicking in. And they got, I'm just going to leave it at that. Just going to leave it at that. I really like where the Bills are headed right now. I'm really liking it. Really liking it. So appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Love all you Jets fans. Soak in last night. Enjoy the Super Bowl this weekend, everybody. It's going to be magical. Let's go Chiefs. For me personally, screw the Eagles. And let's go Jets, baby. Let's go Jets. What about Mahomes? Mahomes and Allen, you cannot compare Mahomes and Allen, sir. Patrick Mahomes is on another stratosphere of Josh Allen. Sorry to break that to you. But here's Patrick Mahomes. Here's Josh Allen. And I can't talk because we have no quarterback. Not saying we do. But if you're talking about the reason why you can win with Patrick Mahomes with that contract, because he's that freaking good, where he doesn't, you saw what he did with Tyreek Hill leaves him, has his best season of his career, wins MVP. What would Josh Allen be without Diggs? I don't know. My point about the money is I don't know if the Bills are going to be able to build around him properly. They're not going to have the money to add talent around the roster, which is why I liked where they're headed as a Jets fan. But Josh Allen's a great talent, and I'm sure that he'll be able to elevate the guys around him, and I'm sure Diggs is going to get better, and I'm sure the Bills are still going to be feisty, but we'll see what happens with them, man. That's just – I honestly think that the AFC East is wide open this year, even for the Dolphins to win it, the Patriots to win it, and if the Jets get a really good quarterback, we'll see. But I don't know. I'm really excited to see how the AFC East is going to pan out this season because I think it's going to be very, very competitive. Very competitive. If only the Jets had a damn quarterback. But we will get one. We will get one. I promise. I promise. and we'll become them. Just like the Dolphins are going to be rising and the Patriots will be rising. We'll see what happens, man. So I'm going to wrap up the show, man. I appreciate you guys. Let's go Jets. And we stole the show last night. Soak that in. Peace.